After our Sunday morning worship services over Zoom, a few of us meet to share spiritual practices. Here, I will offer some of my opinions. I do not represent the group. In my opinion, all of us in the group, actually perhaps all of you, also live extravagantly. Now, you might not agree, but we judge extravagance relative to ourselves, and so we can't really judge ourselves honestly. But compared to some fair benchmarks, we are extravagant. Do we live sustainably? No. Do we live extravagantly compared to most of the world's population? Yes. Now, the problem with our extravagance is that it comes at other people's expense. The cheap goods that we buy are manufactured by oppressed workers. Our carbon emissions from gas pumps, from taking plane flights, and so on, fuel the epic wildfires we're experiencing in California and otherwise in Australia. It's what fuels the powerful hurricanes that they're feeling in the southern states from the Gulf of Mexico. According to a United Nations report from a little over a year ago, our day-to-day habits are driving on order of 1 million species to extinction. Now, in our Sunday morning spiritual practice discussion group, we talk about these ivory tower exercises. They have really no practical use. In my own case, I'm memorizing scripture in Hebrew. Other people are considering the Ignatian examen and maybe some exercises from the Book of Common Prayer. From a practical point of view, all of these exercises are useless at a time that our other day-to-day activities are destroying creation. Now, what if we were to live in harmony with God's creation, or at least take a step in that right direction? For example, if you need groceries, walk to the store. Do not fly on an airplane to get anywhere. Cut your water usage to, say, 15 gallons per person per day. Stop buying any new clothes. Buy your clothes used. Change your garbage service to the minimal service level. Convert your discretionary spending into charitable giving. Now, one reaction you might have to this is that these things are unimaginable, and yet the repercussions of our habits so far have been to make the unimaginable not only imaginable, but in some cases routine. For example, foregoing electricity. Well, with the wildfires, we have rolling blackouts. Losing one's home. In the wildfires, people are losing their homes, and people lose their homes all around the world. Not being able to fly to Europe. Well, we've not been responding to the COVID pandemic, and so Americans currently cannot travel to Europe. Not being able to buy things in the store. Well, we've gone weeks without seeing toilet paper on any grocery store shelf. Not being able to go out to eat. Well, again, we've not responded to the pandemic, and we've gone through phases of not being able to go to a restaurant. So if what we think might be unimaginable might in fact become routine. Or you might think, well, goodness, that's such a hardship. It's such deprivation. But really, all we're doing is giving up convenience, comfort, familiarity. So we should consider doing something practical. And it could be even something as simple as cleaning up a room. And doing something practical is a spiritual practice. Or it isn't. It only comes down to the usual factors. With what intention do you approach your spiritual practice? What mindset do you exercise when you engage in it? What retrospection follows? Will you allow yourself to grow? So let us make our spiritual practices practical so that we can serve humanity and God's creation in tangible ways.